What's up, wrestling fans? We're coming at you live from the Palatial After Show Studios right here in the heart of the Mid-Atlantic Territory. It's another episode of Wrestling After Show. I'm Heath Haynes.
And I'm Jonny Fairplay.
And we're here to talk about the stuff we like in professional wrestling, some of the stuff we don't like, and everything in between. Fairplay, I don't know if you've heard, but Raw is no longer going to be on the USA Network.
Oh, God. Well, I also heard that Raw is SmackDown still on the USA Network.
Still on the USA Network. Yeah.
And next week, go to Netflix if you want to watch Raw.
Raw is coming to Netflix. I don't think they've done a very good job of promoting it at all, and I think they're going to catch a lot of people unawares. But anyway, we're in the know.
You have to do that.
We're in the know, ladies and gentlemen. We have the inside track, and we happen to do know that Raw is going to be moving to Netflix on next Monday with a star-studded, action-packed WrestleMania tier, WrestleMania adjacent style of episode. And we're here to break it down for you, doing previews and predictions on what we might see on that episode. And in the context of that conversation, we're going to end up touching on a lot of the current goings on in the world of WWE. But that's not WWE does not encompass the entire professional wrestling world, and just not equal time, but we will talk about AEW from on occasion, specifically around pay-per-view times. I understand that you just watched the conclusion of the Continental Classic Tour and the AEW PPV World's End. Your thoughts, Fairplay?
It went by a little faster than most of them do.
That's good.
I missed the first 5 to 10 minutes of the pay-per-view because I was watching one of the greatest games in the history of the NFL, the Cincinnati Bengals defying all odds in overtime, winning yet again, potentially forcing their way into the playoffs. It's insanity, loving it. And I was just like, oh my God, why didn't they just say, hey guys, we're gonna pause the pay-per-view for about 8 minutes and then we're gonna
you.
Oh, I mean, it was overtime, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine ratings wise, it was probably one of the top rated NFL games this season. No I mean, it was everything. They go to overtime, and they get down to like the 5. They go to kick the easy field goal. I mean, it's literally you could throw it, to make a field goal, hits the crossbar. Are you kidding me? All the other team has to do is just milk the clock. They don't. Boom, Burrow gets the ball, touchdown with seconds to go. I mean, insanity.
Wow.
So then I flip over, and there's Will Ospreay and his opponent, Will Ospreay, pouring blood.
All right.
So I did go back and hear. I didn't see. I guess they just exchanged headbutts.
Okay.
Until Ospreay hit a gusher.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but overall thoughts, like as just I mean. Sure. Because their pay-per-views, I mean, their booking usually is like, this guy can have a good match with this guy.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the extent of it. So in the context of what their fan base enjoys, as far as like good matches, how did this one rank?
It was good. I mean, the big thing was the climax of Jon Moxley, former WWE wrestler, winning a 4-way over Jay White, Hangman Adam Page, and Orange Cassidy to wrap up that feud, and only to see a challenge from rated FTR of FTR and Adam Copeland. And a lot of people, it left a bad taste in their mouths. Me personally, and I have not been a fan of Adam Copeland in AEW. I just haven't felt like it worked. Presentation wise, like the video screen behind him with the cool graphics, all that put together. I liked it because I feel that's a huge deficit that AEW brings to the table is presentation. I feel that a lot of the costuming and outfits of the ring gear, of course, is less than WWE by a lot for some people. I mean, just low budget. I mean, like I'm not trying to be a dickhead and point fingers, but there's some people. It's just like, dude, like I've been to indie shows and seen better ring gear.
Yeah,
and if the new world of professional wrestling in 2025 is based on potentially 3 hours of Raw on Netflix, definitely 3 hours of SmackDown on USA. That's 6 hours of my time gone. I don't have much more time left in my life for professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so if I'm turning the channel as a casual fan and I see a low budget presentation on a certain individual, I'm good.
Yeah.
So and I think that needs to be addressed across the board. I mean, like, I think most of the I'm not positive, but I'm willing to wager that I think a lot of the wrestlers and men and women and they're responsible for their own ring gear. And if that's the case, maybe some of them should not be responsible for their own ring gear. Like I was talking to Jason Powell with what Mercedes Moné makes. She should be paying for her opponent's outfits because she looks less than when she's in there with an opponent that looks less than.
That's a good point.
So,
well, moving along to our Raw on Netflix preview. We got some big matches on this thing.
Well, you made light of the promotion of Raw moving to Netflix on January 6th.
Right. Yeah.
You got to do that. Right. I remember a time when Raw left USA and went to
Spike.
Did they go to TNN first?
Yeah, they went to TNN first.
TNN first. They were it was the national network, then it was the national network.
Yep, that's right.
And then they moved to Spike. And they did a good job, I thought. I mean, because I'm not stupid. But there were plenty of people going, I guess we don't have wrestling no more. Right. And I'm just like, it's on TNN. Like, they didn't say it every 35 seconds.
Yeah.
But I felt like they did, and there was lots of
people that missed out.
Yes,
yeah.
I think you have to on some wrestling fans you have to hammer them over the head. And was it obnoxious? Yes, but not to the point of okay, I didn't have to turn it off.
It's a wide spectrum out there of wrestling fans. And,
yes.
If they haven't gotten the hint by this point, indeed, maybe by watching this program, they'll get the news update that Raw is going to Netflix and
January 6th.
January 6th, and they do have some big matches lined up for us, and we're going to talk about them right now. But first off, a couple of non-match items that are going to be happening on the show. Of course, it's emanating from the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, California. So you can anticipate a star-studded affair with a lot of celebrity involvement.
Bert Kreischer.
Oh, God. One celebrity in particular that's going to be involved is none other than Travis Scott performing the new Raw theme song. And this is an artist that I'm slightly familiar with. I just heard his name, out there in the pop culture zeitgeist. I know he's a hip hop guy. Yeah. But you're saying that this is a pretty big deal.
It's a big get.
Okay.
It's a big Travis Scott. Record sales or however record sales are measured these days. One of the top hip hop probably of all time at this point. Not really my fiance, he's a little on the mumble rap side. I'm not a fan of the mumble rap. Sure. And I asked my fiance, I was just like, you don't even know what he's saying. And she's like, I don't listen for it. I like the beats and I like the melodic tone of his rapping. And then, so I'm sitting there, I'm just like, all right, well, let me check, it's just like Percocet. And I'm just like, you don't even do drugs. I mean, he's literally just rapping about Percocets.
Wow.
But he is a big deal. Clothing wise, he's a fashion guy. He has the Travis Scott Cactus Jack wrestling shoes.
Okay, this is that guy.
You were
talking about that, and they gifted him an updated version of like the Hardcore Championship. Yeah. You were saying, do you feel like that might get involved?
We may see the Hardcore Championship.
So this might be another sort of instance of a musician maybe getting physically involved.
A Bad Bunny type deal. Okay. I think is in the cards. And when I was first introduced to Bad Bunny into the WWE universe, I was like, because he's literally my size and or smaller.
Right.
Okay. And I'm just like, oh. And then I just did a little research because, I'm just like, wow. Bad Bunny at that time was the most downloaded artist in the history of music.
Yeah, he's huge.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
So Travis Scott, he's
Sort
not
of on that same echelon.
Yeah. So, and it's just like, you know what? This is smart because it's not, and this is a problem with Tony Khan and his sickos mentality. If you're just catering to that audience,
No new eyeballs.
That's it.
Yeah.
The whole thing is, the whole gimmick is we do a podcast every week and we try to talk about others, we talk about the classic stuff. We do predictions, we do a wrap, we do all these kind of things to get those additional eyeballs. We got a comment on
we got a comment, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta give a shout out to that particular YouTube commenter. It was the greatest comment we've ever received.
Well, I mean,
easily
it could be the worst.
Easily. No, it was the greatest.
Okay.
It was the greatest.
So, but no, the whole thing is those extra eyeballs.
Yeah.
Travis Scott is an extra eyeball kind of guy.
Sure.
So, and in the history of Raw themes and SmackDown themes, I mean, looking back, like when Raw first started, you had the sirens and the war stuff, and then I remember Beautiful People for the SmackDown theme and all, and they've for the most part they've done really Nickelback. That one was tough, but Travis Scott is hip, is cool, is now. That's a score.
Cool. Another sort of non-match feature that's going to be on the show is the kickoff of the John Cena retirement year. And I mean, it's wide open as far as what John Cena could get up to this year. I was having a conversation with my good friend Greg. We have a weekly wrestling chat, and we got to talking about Cena, and we were wondering what the fans want to see, and what is Cena's like best role? How was the function of his retirement best served? Like, what purpose can it serve? And it can go either way. I feel like, we can see some of the greatest hits, Cena Orton comes to mind.
I think we all want that
out of the gate. But then, we also want to see, I'm sure, Cena put over some younger talent.
Braun Breaker
on his way out. Braun Breaker instantly comes to mind. So I believe, hopefully we'll get a little indication on this coming Monday of what we can expect from his retirement year.
Reckless speculation has it out there that based on the promotion of Elimination Chamber and the focus on John Cena, that John Cena potentially wins the Elimination Chamber, goes against Gunther at WrestleMania.
Well, I've heard Cody and Cena.
Oh God, no!
Now
supposedly we're getting Cody and The Rock, and
I haven't heard that at all. I've heard Cody Cena,
Roman Punk, Cody Rock.
Is that I haven't heard any of that.
Yeah.
No, what I've heard is Cena, Cody, and The Rock is going to do whatever The Rock wants to do. Whoever that is going to be. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
But speaking of things,
that's all reckless speculation.
Speaking of things that are actually going to happen, some of the matches we're going to see on this show, we're going to see made official last night. Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso. Of course, Jey Uso has been the victim of a couple of assaults in the ring and out from Drew McIntyre, as he is now firmly in his role of the bloodline hunter. He's looking to catch up with all the members of the OG bloodline, if you will. Culminating and possibly he said he's going to come after Solo last, or maybe not at all, depending on how things play out. But this actually plays into the next match I want to talk about as well. But as far as a prediction, I'm going to go back to what we said about what my prediction was for Sammy and Drew at Saturday night's main event, where it's not even going to get in the ring. It's just going to be kind of, and that'll be fine with me because Jey Uso in ring is not all that great anyway, but he's super over, so you got to have him on the show. But yeah, I could see this just sort of being a schmaz and no definitive finish because like you kind of don't want to beat either one of these guys. It doesn't make sense booking wise in my mind. But yeah, what do you think?
Social media 2024, Drew McIntyre has had a field day.
Savage.
He's the king of Instagram. Yeah. I was talking with Jason Powell. I don't know if it's him or if he has a really clever friend, and if he does, don't admit it.
Right.
Just take all the kudos and accolades. If you saw Drew's post this week, he's just like, let's check out the trailer for the January 6th premiere of Raw on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, there's Cody Rhodes. He's not on Raw. Oh, Roman Reigns. Oh, and then it's like, and then no Drew McIntyre. And he's like, oh, well, maybe I didn't do enough in 2024 on the Raw brand. And then it just goes through everything that he did, And literally, if you look at the stats for what top 3 of all time stats, I mean, the guy literally did every single thing you could do.
Yeah. I think there's a strong argument on the Not Sam podcast this year. He didn't do like year-end awards or anything, but his superstar of the year, wrestler of the year was Drew McIntyre, and
same.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense for me. I mean, because just everything he was involved in. He was involved in the feud of the year for me, and which culminated in the match of the year.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he was instrumental in all that. So yeah, I'd give it to him. And plus, yeah, his social, a big part of it is the social media game, and yeah, what you're saying, like capitalizing on what could be a perceived slight. It's like he's not even in the video package. At this point, it would make a lot of sense. Hey, let's don't put Drew McIntyre on the poster. Don't put him on the poster. Don't put him in the video, just because it's worth more to give him something to bitch about.
Yeah. So, but does that put him on SmackDown in 2025? And if he's on SmackDown, how? Because I feel like the Bloodline is moving to Raw.
That brings us into another conversation entirely, which we might as well get into it. Is this the end of the Bloodline saga with this match with Solo Sikoa? Does the Bloodline saga end? His role as a Bloodline hunter becomes sort of moot at this point. Do they break them up? What shows do they end? Are they even going to function as units? I mean, because you can say ostensibly the OG Bloodline just came back together for that one match. They haven't interacted with each other at all.
No. And we've seen Sammy on SmackDown. I would like Drew to be the face of SmackDown. I have no problem with that. Right. So put Drew over there, put Gunther over there, keep them apart. And then when those two finally need to go head to head, they can.
Well, let's talk about it in the framework of this match. So we got Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns.
Well, no, the match before you predicted just a schmaz.
Yeah,
I'm okay with Jay winning with help from either Jimmy or Sammy or whatever. Mm-hmm. Just kind of a fluky kind of win.
Yeah,
and just to give Drew something to bitch about.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he's called out everybody.
I could go with that too.
Yeah.
So we've got Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns in Tribal Combat for the Ulafala, the title of head of the table. This is Tribal Combat, so of course rules do not apply except for they are going to abide by the rule of no outside interference from members of the Bloodline, ostensibly. So, I mean, you look at that, and either way, whoever wins, it's kind of the end. It's not the end that I've sort of envisioned for the Bloodline saga, but with everything else that's going on, with all the other sort of plates that are spinning and all the other chess pieces that are moving around the board at this point, do has the Bloodline saga served its purpose, and is it time to sunset on the Bloodline saga? What do you think?
I'm good with The Rock showing up and basically giving the kill sign to Solo for losing, and Jacob Fatu taking out Solo.
Oh yeah, that's good. But again, back to my question.
I mean, and then Jacob Fatu going, "I love you, The Rock."
Is that the end of the story, or does the story continue? Because that seems to me that would be starting a new chapter.
I mean, I feel like it can be like it seems like they're serious about this brand split.
Meaning, so there's
the Raw people and the SmackDown people. So if Roman is on Raw and Solo and who like if the people are in separate places, then it kind of kills itself.
Right. Well, the whole thing with the transfer, there hasn't really been any sort of like firm like rules set forth about how this transfer window works, how long it's going to last.
Well, I know it's ruined college football as I know it.
And then if there's gonna be any kind, what are the
Are you familiar with the transfer portal in college football?
Do you know?
So at the end of the season, there's this and you can go to another school, or you can do all these things.
All right.
And so like the other night it was Texas Tech versus somebody. And I'm just like, okay, well, Texas Tech, they won 9 games, the other team won 6. This is easy. So anyway, I throw $25 on Texas Tech. This is easy money, right? I go, starting quarterback, he's never thrown a pass in college football because their starting quarterback, he went to another school. He's in the portal. He left. So Virginia Tech is playing in the Duke's Mayo Bowl Friday night in Charlotte, North Carolina, Bank of America. I'm going to be there.
Okay.
10 starters are in the portal not playing for Virginia Tech. So this portal sucks.
Yeah.
So
for you, it's not great.
So they come there like, hey, we're bringing the portal to wrestling. I'm like, well, great, because it's worked out so well in college football.
Maybe it'll have some better effect in the world of professional wrestling. Yeah, they haven't really set forth specifically how it works.
I don't think they know.
Yeah, so it might as well be another superstar shakeup. I mean, that's what it is. It's just a different name.
Yeah.
SmackDown's going to be 3 hours, so they're going to need bodies. Raw is going to be at least 2, but I feel like they're probably going to, have a more fluid. The episode is going to be as long as it needs. I
think we're looking at 2:15 and 2:45. I think we're gonna just glide along that path.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Yeah, it would be fine. I mean, because you don't have people trying to set a DVR to record it. They don't have to, they don't
just press the button, record. And I want to match like the main event. If that main event goes 45 minutes, how cool is that? Versus, the main event starts at 10:50 p.m. It's over at 11:05 at the latest.
Sure.
So I hate that.
Yeah.
So this fluidity, like they could go 3 hours and 15 minutes on this. It's just like, holy, like Seth Rollins loves those marathon matches.
Yeah.
Give us one of those. It started at 2 hours and 20 minutes. And then it's just like, holy shit, like this thing is like, this is never going to end, and I don't know if I need to hear the fight forever chant, but I think we could get some cool, like, you think it's over, it's not over. You think and that's pro wrestling at its best when you don't know.
Seth Rollins has got a match on this show, and we're going to talk about it in just a moment. But before we get to that, we're going to address. Well, let's give our predictions for this Roman Solo thing. I've always seen the Bloodline saga, not being over until The Rock gets involved again, and they do The Rock versus Roman. So I see Roman winning the Ulafala. So he's like, hey, he's the head of the table, but then here comes The Rock. He's like, yeah, you're the head of the table. You're the tribal chief. I'm the high chief, dude.
Yeah.
So now, so now let's talk. And it's in LA, so you think, it just kind of, and it's a huge event.
Well, every commercial has The Rock. They have not said it. Is that wrong of them, or is that because I like the fact that they're not saying The Rock's there, but they're saying The Rock's going to be there.
How are they? Is The Rock in the commercial?
Every single commercial has The Rock and John Cena. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd not noticed The Rock.
Yes.
I noticed Becky Lynch in one last night, which is like she's not even there.
Yeah. The Rock is in every single commercial.
So he'll probably,
every outside of the WWE universe commercial, like when you see the
okay.
Yeah, the mainstream commercials.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, if you're watching the Bengals game,
then you're going to see The Rock. Okay, yeah. So
we're
without,
getting The Rock
without spoiling it for us, but maybe like getting those,
those other eyeballs. That's the ones you want.
There it is.
So I think The Rock comes out. I think he gives the evolution thumbs down to Solo.
I like that idea.
Yeah,
I do like that idea.
And I think Solo is the best Solo he's been right now in a long time.
Right.
Like I think he's finding his groove. And I love Solo on his kind of his own mission, figuring himself out.
Solo on a solo mission, perhaps.
Yeah,
there it is.
So,
there it is. Well, whether or not the Bloodline saga is coming to an end, one storyline that I think definitely should culminate and be done at this Raw on Netflix is Liv Morgan,
really,
and Rhea Ripley. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Well, they even said collect together.
This is it. Yeah. It's got to end.
Yeah,
it's got to end, and I think everybody agrees.
We were all saying it together with
not that it's been great, but it's time.
It's time.
Because you can't. They can't kick this can to WrestleMania.
I think they milked it for like. It's crazy because
admittedly, it probably would have wrapped up sooner, but like Rhea got hurt twice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So yeah. Now this thing could have been done at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So and Liv Morgan, I've never been a fan of her in-ring persona and her matches up until this year.
Sure. She's done a lot with what she's been given.
The cards tilt to her. I give her an A++.
Yeah.
Because she's still not a good wrestler.
No.
But she is beyond serviceable in that role.
Right.
Like her I don't watch her matches and be like, oh my God, just end it. So she does, and she, if she's in the ring with someone better, she is better. So it's those matches when she's not in the ring, like her and Selena Vega is not a good match.
Yeah.
So, but her and Rhea Ripley, everyone plays their part well, and just personality wise, she's amazing. And she's, look at her.
Yes, she. The look that I've attributed, the name of Liv Morgan's look that I've attributed to her over the past year is like, the look I'm going for is a mother of all whores.
Yeah,
it's like it's
a sex pot,
and she plays it up, man.
She does,
and I had never noticed until the video package last night the little Eskimo kisses that her and Dom give each other, and I'm like, that's perfect. I love that. This needs to come to an end. And part and parcel of all this, they probably should just like pull the trigger on breaking up whatever the fuck is left of the Judgment Day.
Well, did you hear their new music?
Yeah, they got new music. Yeah. Well,
that is not the vibe of like
I don't, whether it was the vibe or not, it's just like, why change their music at this point?
Yeah.
To me, that's the biggest head scratcher. It's like, I wasn't super paying attention, but like I heard detuned heavy guitars and, and kind of a heavy, sort of vaguely heavy metal, entrance theme. And it's like, oh, that's Judgment Day. It was their brand new theme, but I still knew who was coming to the ring without even looking at the TV.
Yeah. I liked it.
I mean, it's fine, but like again, like
I
why
mean, well,
now?
for all the themes out there right now that suck, like
Yeah.
that one, like I just felt it felt
Yeah.
Judgment Day.
Yeah.
This new like Los Boricuas or whatever the fuck. Like, what?
I wasn't, or maybe I'm thinking of the because they just changed Damian Priest's theme song. Maybe I heard that one. I don't know, but like still, yeah. Why change their theme song right now?
Because we need this thing to end.
They need to be done, and everybody needs to go kind of do their own thing.
So all right, so who JD and Finn can be they can be a tag. I wouldn't mind JD and Finn as a tag team on SmackDown.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, I can kind of see that, but like I still don't think, and I'm not like a huge proponent of Finn Balor, but like to me, he's never really had the singles run, like the run,
post the championship.
Well, yeah, he won it, and then dropped it the next night, and he was huge in NXT. Obviously huge in Japan before he even came over here, and
in Japan.
Okay, so anyway, so
but Carlito stays with
whatever they end up doing. But moving on to
so Rhea Ripley wins the championship.
Rhea Ripley wins the championship.
Okay, we're good there.
Punk CM Punk and the
architect.
Whatever.
the real best in the world.
Seth Rollins, they had a good promo segment last night as we're broadcasting live today on that final Raw on USA. They had a Dynamite promo segment where true. I mean, this whole storyline, and this is another one that we could say like, is this it, or is there going to be additional matches to this one? But yeah, they're capitalizing on the money that AEW left on the table by not really doing some sort of angle or some sort of program with Punk and the Elite when he was over there. And they were having all their like legit backstage issues and leaking stories of him being a cancer. And yeah, he even used that verbiage in the promo last night. Seth Rollins did. Cancer. Yeah, got to cut out the cancer, which was actually, those were,
the words,
quoted to Chris Jericho, referring to CM Punk as a locker room cancer. So
was there an NDA involved?
Punk didn't do anything. There's an NDA, but not because of anything Punk did.
Yeah, exactly.
According to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have this match. The segment last night, was really great. I felt like Punk sort of rose to the occasion in a way he maybe hasn't so far.
I think it's the most passionate promo
in some of these promos. Yeah. Rollins, grinds my gears just by his existence. And he was doing the same last night, pacing around and like trying to like jaw jack with Punk when Punk is like, making his case. And then when he finally settled down and, they really got face to face, that's what, that's obviously when the tension ramped up and they really started peppering each other with some good lines. I mean, I wish I didn't know as much as I do about CM Punk's backstage role, specifically in this current run in WWE, because I wish the cancer argument actually held weight.
Yeah, it doesn't ring true now because the guy is literally at NXT, coaching up the kids. He's at WWE headquarters. He's at the Performance Center.
Every story is he's been nothing but nice.
He's doing house show run-ins in a shower cap.
That was wonderful. Yeah, so it's like So my question to Seth is like, okay, locker room cancer. What else you got?
Yeah.
And
but Punk, by the same token, he took out Bronson Reed But would he carry him up to the top of the cage?
Yeah. You didn't really do. Yeah, that didn't really happen. So that's fine. But I think that's a valid point to make. Is like, you didn't get your revenge, your measure of revenge on this guy, and he shouldn't have said I broke his ankle. He said he should have said, and now he's gone. From a match that I was involved in. But I guess it does sound better to say I broke his ankle.
Yeah.
But, how did you do that?
Broke his leg.
That vicious figure 4 that you had him in for, or whatever, that he pulmonized him? No, none of that happened.
Yeah.
But
what did you think of the arrows thing? So the arrows thing, when he started saying the arrows thing, I was like, and then he said arrows thing again. I was like, oh, and they said arrows thing. And I was just like, oh my God, like right now, the world in which we live in, 2025 is a day away. 90% of kids out there
don't know what a bow and arrow is.
They have no idea. Cowboys, Indians. Remember when we were kids? Cowboys, Indians?
Yeah.
I mean, that was the thing.
Yeah.
95% of kids in the world today, 2025, January 1st, tomorrow, do not even know what Cowboys, Indians are.
But Game of Thrones is a thing, and they got arrows.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings is a thing. They got arrows. But,
who's talking about Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Okay. But the arrows thing, I felt he brought it home at the end.
Yeah.
And then when says like I have eyes of fire, I'm like, ugh. And he goes, but I'm fueled by my rage and hate. I'm like, okay, I'm for that.
Right.
So I thought they both integrate. I think honestly, 2024, I think they both had a great year on the mic. Some days immensely better than others. Yeah. I think they ended probably the best promo each of them have cut in the year 2024.
I agree. I think with this match, I think this is the beginning, not the end, with these two guys. And there's what I think will happen. And then what I want to happen. I'm going to tell everybody what I want to happen. I want CM Punk to go over, and then I want Seth to beat the shit out of him and like legit turn heel. And then I want Seth to sort of get maybe not completely repackaged, but a little tweaked. Go a little darker,
SmackDown?
A little more serious. No, and continue.
Keep this going.
Yeah, and keep this going because this could be where with all these matches we're saying is this the beginning? Is this the middle? Is this the end of what we're seeing with Liv and Rhea? We're thinking it's the end. With The Rock and Solo, we're thinking maybe the end, but the beginning of a new chapter. Drew and Jay. Kind of in the middle. I think this is the beginning of what this could be a WrestleMania match. They all could kind of be WrestleMania matches, but I think we could see Seth and I think they could get a few matches out of this rivalry.
I would love for this to be a WrestleMania match. I think the only reason it's not, so the rumored card that I heard, Punk and Roman and Cody and
The Rock
and the Rock.
Yeah.
If that is the card, we got to end all this shit tomorrow.
Sure.
Or January 7th.
Yeah.
Because there's a build.
Yeah.
It is 3-4 months, but still it takes The Rock. The entire month before they're at WrestleMania, they're overseas, and unless it's London, I don't see The Rock showing up in Germany.
Right.
So and I think Rock's going to have a high profile match. I think The Rock will more than likely be in one of the two main events. And I think Punk was guaranteed a main event at WrestleMania. Should Seth Rollins versus CM Punk be a main event night one? To me, yes.
Yeah.
But if Cody's on one, if you got Cody and you got Roman and you got The Rock,
there's only so many main events to go around.
They're like those three right there, Cody, Roman, The Rock. That does not allow, unless they're having a three-way.
Yeah.
That does not allow CM Punk and Seth Rollins to be in a main event.
And then you got to
and I think Seth gets pushed down the card.
I think I don't know, man.
I say The Rock can come back at at SummerSlam and give us the matches we want. Once again, The Rock is going to ruin WrestleMania. How insane is that?
I want to see something done with the Seth character, just because it doesn't work for me, but that's me.
It doesn't work for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that like Seth Rollins and they can't explain Seth Rollins. I like Seth Rollins. I love Seth Rollins.
Right.
I can't explain a Seth Rollins.
What is a Seth
and I don't
Rollins?
like that I can't explain. I want a piece of shit. Like Wade Keller, back, it's just like, he's like, Seth Rollins, the character should be the guy that shows up every 15 years to the DMV to renew his license.
And everybody's like,
and they're like,
oh
God.
Yeah.
He's that, like your local DMV knows who you are and you're not famous.
Yeah. Or that guy, it's like, when you see his car in the parking lot, or when you see his car driving down like West Main Street, it's like, oh shit, like I guess I'm not going to Food Line today. Like,
I'll eat tomorrow.
Yeah.
You pull into McDonald's, on Riverside.
We actually have a guy like that. He's like, well, I want to say the local racist, but obviously in our town, you can't limit it to just one. But he is, I would say one of Danville's most prominent racists.
Yeah,
his yard is festooned with white supremacist imagery, and he drives around in his little white minivan, and it's like, it's him, and it's like, fuck, I don't even want to.
I thought you were talking about your restaurateur you didn't like. Also on the borderline of racist.
Yeah, my buddy.
No, not your buddy.
Yeah, not my buddy. Not my buddy.
We not condone or appreciate in any way.
No, we don't. So we've got it. We're running live today, which we haven't done in a long time. And we're
41 minutes in. We're good.
Okay, I still don't see it, but you see 41?
41:52.
Okay, 41:52. So we're good.
Yeah,
we're doing good on time. That's kind of our matches.
Okay, so now reckless speculation and surprises.
Who's going to show up? Cena's announced, so he'll definitely decide. That's not a surprise.
Okay, who's Cena's first person out of the gate?
Man, I don't even know. There's so many dominoes that sort of need to. You've got dominoes from all over that are set up all over. You got this line that can culminate in sort of like this result, and this line that can culminate in sort of that result. And I think some of those dominoes need to start to fall before we can see where Cena's going to fit in. Do you know what I mean?
I kind of had a circled on my calendar at some point, Grayson Waller and John Cena. Just based on the interaction overseas. I think it was was it the London pay-per-view or France? I think it was when he was talking about when Cena was talking about WrestleMania coming to the UK. So and there was an interaction there that I think that there's potentially follow-up, and then you have Cena burying Austin Theory.
Well, but eventually put him over at WrestleMania that year. So that's when you think about that, and you think about like what a victory over John Cena can do for a career or a performer or character, and you look and you can say Austin Theory has a WrestleMania victory over John Cena. What has it done for him?
Yeah.
Because
I think it was the whole burial going in, it didn't count.
Yeah, he
emasculated prior to.
He buried Austin so hard in those promos leading up to it that it was like, okay, so what? You won.
Yeah, it was like Hogan and Shawn Michaels. It's just like this is bullshit.
Oh, when Shawn Michaels is just oversold. Yeah.
So it's like okay, do they go into real life and like. I don't think that's the feud out of the gate because we literally saw Braun Strowman beat up the two of them for the last 2 weeks, so that's not the So is there a loudmouth, or is there someone from Cena's pat? Like, because I think Randy has to go through the whole Cody Kevin thing before he gets to Cena. I could see Cena and Randy at SummerSlam. That would be a fun one.
Well,
or even Survivor Series.
You got John Cena there. He's going to be there for a year, but he's not going to be there continuously for a year. I think anything you have him involved with a guy like Grayson Waller, I think is going to be limited to, I'm going to come on your talk show and
beat you up
and beat you up.
Yeah.
And then that's not going to go to a match.
No.
I think
that's going to be the beginning and end.
I think his
beginning, middle, and end.
His bump card, if you will, is, not necessarily because of his, what shape he's in physically, but I think, he's going to be around, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of match time. So they got to maximize that match time. And so I think you've got to look at, I think the best way to look at it is he's going to have 4 opponents. He's going to have 2 greatest hits. He's going to have 2 new guys.
Okay.
We already said Randy, and we've already said Braun Breaker. I think both of those would be great matches and strong candidates.
I think Gunther.
You got to say Gunther, and then what would one other greatest hit be?
I think you either do Punk or Cody as your other one.
I think Cena, Punk. I think those matches are. They had some classics. They're both. They're
one of the greatest
there.
Matches, top 10 of all time for me.
But how about this? You're talking about The Rock ruining everything.
Oh yeah, he would. Yeah. Yeah.
What did they do? The Rock Cena again.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, I'm thinking just as if the reckless speculation is correct, just based on the dominance of the advertising with Cena for Elimination Chamber. Cena, so Monday night, Cena comes out, says, "I want Gunther at WrestleMania," announces that he's in the Rumble, and so we have a face-to-face interaction with Gunther and John Cena. Cena does the Rumble, doesn't win the Rumble. Okay, Cena's in the Elimination Chamber, wins the Elimination Chamber. We have Gunther versus Cena at WrestleMania, and that leaves Goldberg without an opponent that we thought was going to be Gunther, which definitely would have turned Gunther babyface.
Wait, where's Goldberg come in?
Goldberg has announced his retirement. Goldberg and WWE announced his retirement on College Football Game Day.
Oh, really?
That his final match is at WrestleMania.
Huh. Okay, so that's the thing.
And he called out Gunther, and I think they were shifted towards a Gunther face turn, which would be.
I don't think they're doing that anymore.
I think they're pivoting, and I think so. I'm so with all these moving parts, spinning plates. I see Gunther, John Cena, and Goldberg, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker kills Goldberg and turns babyface.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I mean, because that crowd is going to shit all over Goldberg, right?
Well, yeah, I don't want to see Goldberg Gunther at all. Here, as far as wild scenarios that we just want to pull out of our ass.
Sure.
Here's one that I was thinking of yesterday. So one match that's not happening on Raw on Netflix, but has been confirmed for the Royal Rumble is the ladder match for the Winged Eagle, the ladder match between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes for both belts. This whole thing makes a lot of sense to me in a lot of different ways, and I'll break it down for you and tell you why. So you have the introduction of the Winged Eagle title. One night only.
One night only.
Here you go. In the course of that match, Kevin Owens legit beats Cody Rhodes. Gets a pinfall, no referee there.
Sure.
So he walks out with, the one night only title. Perfect. Cody still has his belt.
Yeah.
Now KO has another belt, and he also has a gripe against referees. I was robbed of my victory, so this is my championship belt, and I want a match where a referee's not going to screw me over. And Cody Rhodes is like, well, you know what? I want a match where a referee's not going to stop what I want to do to you, because Cody Rhodes has now, in a lot of his programs as champion, we've seen him sort of play the role as like, he's kind of held it together. He's gotten heated now and then, but he hasn't had like a blood feud. He wanted to kick AJ Styles' ass, and like he got pretty heated about that, but like that was more business. It wasn't personal, And so with this Kevin Owens situation, Cody Rhodes, his temper is super high right now, and he cut an awesome fired up babyface promo on SmackDown this week. Loved it. I want to get my hands on you in a context where, the referees can't get involved. Then what do you got? You got a ladder match. No referee involvement. Everybody's going to see plain as day who climbs up the thing and gets the thing.
And Kevin Owens loves jumping off shit.
And he loves jumping off shit. And in the context of, in ladder matches in a WWE context, you always think about the first one, which that was obviously not the first ladder match, but the first one anybody talks about is Shawn and Razor. And that was for 2 belts.
Yep.
So like it just works.
I love the history.
Works on all those levels. Yep. This match is going to happen at the Royal Rumble. And also with Cody's matches that he's had over the course of his reign, we've never really thought the title has been in jeopardy.
No.
They always work a little something in to where it's like, oh, well, okay, he's got an injured leg, maybe,
but I'm not going to work on it. He has an injured leg. I'm not going to work on it. I'm like, oh, no.
stuff that they can, tell stories off of in the ring more than anything. Let's just say, because Cody's coming into this match with, they've talked about the weekend. The weekend leg has always been a thing. Yeah. Got to have both legs climb a ladder.
Yeah. The
neck, is just going to be a source of pain and degradation for Cody Rhodes. He's banged up, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. He got Christmas off.
And let's say Kevin Owens ends Cody Rhodes' reign at the Royal Rumble, and now he is whatever he decides to be, the undisputed champion, just the WWE champion. For one thing, the Winged Eagle becomes the belt moving forward.
Love that.
Love that. I think
and Cody can wrestle The Rock for the BMF.
Yeah. So I think regardless of the outcome, regardless of who wins, I think this would be a great way of just saying, okay, now the Winged Eagle is the championship. And that's not to say they still can't do those WWE, style championships for whoever wins the World Series or the NBA championship, still like, because those, there's so many of those around.
Yeah. I like them being for that.
Yeah.
Because they're WWE-esque.
Yeah.
But that's for that, and this is for this.
Yeah, exactly. So whoever wins, just let the Winged Eagle be the title moving forward.
And let the kids know, let the parents know those sides are going to break off, and you're going to be buying another belt.
But let's say Kevin Owens wins, and so he leaves Royal Rumble as WWE champion. Whoever wins Royal Rumble, can challenge, which I'm not going to speculate on who that might be.
John Cena versus Kevin Owens.
John Cena versus Kevin Owens. You want to talk about greatest hits?
Yeah, that match made Kevin Owens.
But so now we have Cody Rhodes, and we've kind of been, maybe not in the context of this show, but we're going back to the transfer portal. We saw both champions have conversations with the general managers of the opposing shows, and we're thinking, okay, well maybe. Can they switch champions, You know, is that going to happen? There's been a lot of talk of Cody being on Raw. You know, what if Cody ends up being on Raw, but he doesn't bring that title with him? Kevin Owens has that title. That title stays on SmackDown. Kevin Owens stays on SmackDown. Now Cody's on Raw. What's he going to do? Go to Elimination Chamber, win that, and then we get the rematch of Cody Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania.
I don't like that.
I love it. I love it. I wanted to see
Cody Gunther.
I wanted to see Cody Gunther clear back to WrestleMania. I wanted Gunther to be Cody's first program out of winning at WrestleMania. You know,
I'm okay with it with a heated up Gunther. The Gunther right now, I don't like that at all. I want the Gunther from a year ago, versus Cody Rhodes.
That's what I'm talking about. Like
this Gunther we've seen, I don't like him.
Well, I think the whole unconfident Gunther that they
just to explain away the loss.
I think they sort of. I mean, that was all tiptoeing around. Maybe we can do some different things with him. And I think for some people it worked, but I think on the big picture, and your response to that is case in point of why it really big picture has not worked, is because now you kind of soured on that presentation. I think to get Gunther back to the level of bulletproof fucking, monster heel champion. And then you got your white meat baby face. I mean, like,
okay, I can live with that, but I need him heated up, and the guy
they got plenty of time, but there you go.
I'm okay with that.
And I could see that as being, and you got the context of their
throw in Goldberg 3-way.
No. We were doing so well.
We were. It just fell apart right at the 56-minute mark.
Yeah, so that's sort of my my reckless speculation scenario of what I'd like to see. But what is your reckless speculation scenario? And
leave it in the comments.
And leave it in the comments. And as we say, with reckless speculation. Well, I guess no, not Sam. His speculate wildly is his thing. So we're not gimmicking for anything.
No, this is just this is actually stolen from Children of the Watch, my favorite Star Wars podcast. Shout out Children of the Watch.
So if you got any reckless speculation on what's going to happen with WrestleMania plans, or even as far as what's going to happen with this first Raw on Netflix that's coming at us on January 6th. Leave it in the comments. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. It's the Reality After Show channel, headed up by none other than this man, Jonny Fairplay, who I'm sure you got. You're a man with many irons in the fire, as always. What do you got going on for the people?
Get a Cameo. Go to cameo.com/Jonny Fairplay. No H in Johnny. Go to JonnyFairplay.com for links to everything. That's JonnyFairplay. And I just posted like 200 vinyl records, and there's links on my links to my eBay out there. So so get yourself a record. And otherwise, I'm going to Duke's Mayo Bowl. That's it.
Enjoy it.
And I'll see you Monday night. Maybe we'll do something.
Maybe we'll do something Monday night. And another thing, we started off the show talking about AEW, and something that you may not know. All kidding aside, with the net, obviously they've done a really good job of promoting that Netflix is going. Raw is going to go on Netflix starting tonight, I believe. No. AEW tomorrow night.
The mother of all simulcasts.
AEW Dynamite is going to start broadcasting on TBS as well as streaming live on Max.
Correct.
So
the mother of all simulcasts is what it says at the bottom. It's in Asheville, and proceeds going to local charities there.
There it is. So I haven't had access to watch weekly AEW programming in a long time.
Max.
I've got Max. I'm gonna.
I was gonna say I could call Paul Heyman for his password.
So we're gonna. So we're gonna actually on next week's show we're gonna get my unabashed review with a fresh set of eyeballs on the current AEW product. We're gonna be talking about that next time, as well as probably doing a little wrap up on surveying the landscape post the debut of Raw on Netflix, and then as always talking about all the stuff we like.
That's crazy.
Professional wrestling.
I think we're 2 weeks away from a classic match.
2 weeks away from a classic match.
Yeah, because I think there's so much. I mean, you know, we talked about so much on the preview today. Next week, just the wrap up of talking, you know, AEW's first simulcast and, you know, the first Raw on Netflix. That's going to occupy an hour.
Yeah.
The following week, let's bring back the classic.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. We need
two
to bring
weeks
back.
away.
We need to do a Crockett Classic in 2 weeks. If you got any thoughts of
maybe the ladder match.
Oh yeah, I guess it wouldn't be a Crockett Classic, but we could talk about Shawn and Razor or
Coliseum Classic,
or we could talk about really in context of Crockett. You know, the ladder matches I always think about with Crockett are, and this would actually bring to a culmination a match that we reviewed. You know, we talked about Dusty and Tully a while back for the bag of money and all that nonsense. The blow off for all that was in Charlotte, North Carolina, summer of 1987 at the Great American Bash, Charlotte Memorial Stadium. A ladder match. It was you want to talk about overbooking. It was a barbed wire ladder bunkhouse match between Dusty Rhodes and Tully Blanchard for the world television title and $10,000. And I think it actually might have gotten up to like $50,000 in a bag over the ring. That might be something to watch.
Yeah, let's do that. There we go. There's a Crockett Classic match. And the following week, we'll do a Coliseum Classic.
Sure.
We'll keep our alliteration going.
I love it. I love it. You heard it here first, and so did I. Ladies and gentlemen, on Wrestling After Show for Jonny Fairplay, I'm Heath Haynes, and we'll see you next time at the matches.
Yeah.